would like to avail of the privilege hour, may we recognize the distinguished gentleman, Senator Raffy Tulfo.
Senator Raffy Tulfo is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished colleagues, I speak before you today on a matter of personal and collective privilege. Today is International Day of Disabled Persons. I did not realize this until this morning, but it seems that the universe intended for me to deliver this privileged speech today to open our eyes to what families with disabled children are going through. Mr. President, last week, during the budget plenary debates for DSWD, while looking into some social welfare concerns of our people, I had an enlightening discussion with the budget sponsor, Senator Pia Cayetano, regarding programs for children with disability, particularly those with Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, autism, hearing impairment, visual impairment, speech disorder, and orthopedic ADHD, among others. During the session, I commended a DSWD program entitled Project Aruga, a community-based project which provides disability-inclusive social protection for children with disability and their families to address substantial unmet needs and offer comprehensive social service. Basically, this program gives disability support allowance in the amount of 2,000 pesos per month, given through a one-time 10,000 pesos allowance. Project Aruga had 400 beneficiaries in 2025 and a budget targeted to 1,200 beneficiaries for 2026 with a budget of 44 million pesos. After some discussion and with the support of the budget sponsor, I push for a higher budget for this program. I'm hoping that the budget for Project Aruga will be given an increase of 40 million pesos. This will double the original budget and allow them to reach more beneficiaries and give higher financial support. Agad kong nai-report ito sa ating mga kababayan. Madami po ang natuwa sa mas mataas na allowance dahil may ibsan talaga ang kanilang financial shortage. But it seems that there are still more urgent concerns that need to be tackled to give them meaningful support and care. Raising a child with disability. Mr. President, I was flooded with heartbreaking stories from our people when I posted about Project Aruga. I was able to get a clearer picture of what families with disabled children go through. Sa simula pa lang, when parents begins to notice some developmental issues with the children, hirap na po silang makakuha ng tamang diagnosis at medical confirmation of what their children are going through. Karamihan sa kanila, inaakala na may kahinaan lang ang kanilang anak o masamang ugali kaya napapalo nila ang mga ito. Yung pala, may mental condition ng bata na di nila agad nalaman. There is a lack of education for parents regarding signs to look out for if their children has mental disabilities and they do not have access to medical centers that could evaluate their children. Once diagnosed, the next problem would be the availability of developmental pediatricians and speech, occupational, physical, and developmental therapy centers for early intervention for the children. The first 3 years are a critical time for development, and early intervention can have a significant and lasting impact on the child's ability to learn. It could reduce or possibly eliminate the need for future support. Kaya importante po ang early intervention. Pero kulang po ang ating mga centers. Next comes the cost of raising children with disabilities. In a study conducted by the UNICEF and DSWD in 2022, which included a nationally representative quantitative survey and qualitative in-depth interviews, it was found that a child with disabilities spends 40 to 80% more than other children without disabilities. And poverty rates are 50% higher in households with children with disabilities. This is not surprising because apart from the increase in medical and living expenses, families are also faced with reduced income because of the need for an able-bodied family member to stay at home and look after the disabled child. Ang nanay o tatay na kaya sana magtrabaho para sa pamilya ay kinakailangang manatili sa bahay para alagaan ang bata. Kaya nababawasan po ang income ng pamilya. Finally, every single day parents of disabled children worry about the future. Sabi nga ng ilan sa kanila, ang unang pumasok sa isip nila sa sandaling malaman na may kapansanan ang kanilang anak ay kung anong mangyayari pa pag wala na sila. Some parents even wish na kung pwede isama na lang nila ang kanilang anak kung sakaling may mangyari sa kanila. Ito po ang sinabi ng ilang mga magulang akin po nakausap, nag-communicate po sa aking social media accounts. Dahil kadalasan ang magulang lang ang tunay na nagmamalasakit ang mag-aalaga sa mga persons with disability pagtanda nila. Mahirap ipasa sa iba, lalo na kung wala namang pera para magbayad sa mag-aalaga na di makakasiguro na alagaan ng maayos ang may kapansanan. After hearing all this, nang liit po talaga ako sa binibigay na ayuda ng ating gobyerno sa mga children with disability na 10,000 pesos. Hindi na ito nalalayo sa 500 pesos na pang Noche Buena. Nakapang liit at nakapang insulto na tulong kung tutusin po. Mr. President, there are programs conducted by the DSWD to the National Council on Disability Affairs. They even have the DARE program, or Developmental Assistance Rehabilitation Empowerment, a caravan for children with disability which aims to bridge the gaps in accessing developmental assessment. Meron din pong PhilHealth subsidies pamagitan ng mandatory PhilHealth coverage for PWDs. And we have various laws such as Magna Carta for disabled persons, which provide 20% discounts and privileges for PWDs. Nandiyan din po ang PWD Affairs Office Act, which compels every LGU to have a PDAO or focal person to plan, coordinate, and resource PWD programs locally, including referrals to education, health, and social care facilities. Unfortunately, these programs are not enough. Una, marami po sa ating mga children with disability ang hindi pa nakakakuha ng disability ID card. Hirap silang makakuha, kaya naman dito napapakinabangan ng mga nasa laylayan ng ating lipunan at mga nasa malalayong lugar. In the 2022 study conducted by UNICEF and DSWD, it seems that only 1 out of 5 children with disabilities have a PWD card. And most of these come from the higher income bracket. Ganun pa rin pa po ba hanggang ngayon? Marahil kailangan natin silipin kung napapakinabangan ba itong mga programa ito ng ating mga mahihirap na kababayan. Pangalawa, may batas tayo na ipinasa na Regional Specialty Centers Act, which mandates the establishment of specialty healthcare centers. Sa ngayon, may 2 DOH Children's Hospital pa lang at pareho ay nasa Metro Manila at may 4 na LGU Children's Hospital. Ang hirap talaga para sa mga kababayan natin na malayo sa mga lugar na ito upang magkaroon ng regular na therapy para sa kanilang anak. Magastos ang pamasahe at walang matutuluyan tuwing sila ay pupunta dito sa Maynila. Sa katunayan, may tinutulungan po akong foundation, ang Little Ark Foundation, na nagbibigay ng free board and lodging para sa mga cancer patients ng National Children's Hospital. Kasi nga po, di natatapos ng mga bata ang kanilang mga chemotherapy dahil wala naman sila pong matutuluyan dito sa Metro Manila. Ganyan din ang sitwasyon ng mga children with disability kapag malayo sa kanila ang mga therapy centers. Hindi consistent o hindi na lang talaga tumutuloy. Finally, we have the exodus of medical professionals and teachers that could address the concerns of our less fortunate children with disabilities. It is hard to maintain a pool of professionals because they're not adequately compensated. Talagang pagiging bayani na ang magsilbi para sa mga mahirap nating kababayan na may disability. But we cannot deny medical professionals the opportunity of a better income for their own families. And also, I would like to propose some crucial policies that we can look into as an adjustment for existing laws. 1, the DOH needs to increase its efforts to maintain consolidated database of disabled children. Ang daming nagsasabi tuwing hingi sila ng tulong, paulit-ulit silang nagsasubmit ng mga requirements. Kaya dumadagdag sa gastos nila ang pabalik-balik. Complete and improved registry could then be the basis for the planning of services for these children. This registry should be available across agencies to recognize the right to health insurance and PhilHealth services. Two, PhilHealth needs to increase the health packages, including access to assistive devices for people with disabilities and extending the network of accredited facilities and service providers. Three, there is a need to intensify training for medical professionals that could provide interventions and increase guidance, counselors, and special education teaching assistants. We have to ensure that these professionals are well compensated. We should also provide training for the stay-at-home caregiver so that some form of early intervention could be conducted at home. Or, working on what Project Aruga started, we could look into adjusting the eligibility assessment and financial support to children with disabilities in programs that are time-tested already. Eligibility assessment should factor the extra cost of raising children with disabilities and recognize the higher poverty levels of these children and their households. For poor families with children with disabilities, the level of support should also increase to include the extra cost faced by these households. Conclusion, Mr. President, children with disability enter this world at a disadvantage, and so it is up to us to provide them with the means to be able to take care of themselves. Ang realidad po talaga ay habang sila ay bata, nandyan ang kanilang mga magulang upang alagaan sila. Pero darating po ang araw na kailangan nila tulungan ang sarili nila. Otherwise, they'll be the responsibility of the government. And like so many things, early intervention is the key. That is why this ability to make it on their own is the best cure to their disability. I also wish to highlight that I have filed the autism bill under the 20th Congress, SBN number 1430, an act instituting a comprehensive national care to encourage cooperation, accountability, and research for the education and support to persons with autism and for other purposes. This measure reflects our commitment to institutionalizing long-term support, research, and coordinated care for persons with autism and their families. It is my hope that this legislation, together with strengthened programs across our social welfare and health agencies, will push our government toward a more inclusive and equitable future for all our children with disabilities. Mr. President, my dear colleagues, thank you so very much for listening, and I hope for everyone's support regarding this matter. Magandang hapon po.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, our distinguished colleague, Senator
Majority
Erwin
Leader.
Tulfo would like to interpolate our distinguished sponsor of the privilege speech.
Yes, Senator Irvin Tulfo is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. President. I do not wish to interpolate. Rather, I would just like to express my support for Senator Raffy Tulfo's privileged speech, calling for increased funding and stronger government attention for families raising children with disabilities, Mr. President. Napakahalaga po ng panawagin ito dahil araw-araw marami pong pamilyang Pilipino na may mga bata o may mga anak na may disability ay nahihirapang mag-access ng therapy, medical care, inclusive education at iba pang serbisyong kritikal para sa pangangailangan ng naturang mga bata, Mr. President. Children with disabilities deserve not only understanding, but real and sustained support. Kailangan po nila, Mr. President, na maayos na early intervention program, accessible healthcare, inclusive learning opportunities, at sapat na tulong pinansyal para matugunan ang kanilang pangangailangan sa araw-araw, Ginoong Pangulo. Para naman sa mga magulang at caregivers, malaking bagay po ang pagkakaroon ng suporta mula sa pamahalaan upang hindi sila mag-isa sa kanilang laban. The call raised by Senator Tulfo, Mr. President, is both timely and necessary. Sa pagtutok natin sa mga batang may kapansanan, ipinapakita nating seryoso po tayo sa pagbuo ng isang bansang tunay na inklusibo at makatao. Isang Pilipinas kung saan walang batang maiiwan dahil lamang po sa kanyang kondisyon o kapansanan. I stand in solidarity with this advocacy and urge our institutions to act with empathy, urgency, and long-term commitment para po sa ating mga anak, para sa kanilang kinabukasan. Kailangan nating kumilos ngayon na, Mr. President. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon.
Senator Robin Padilla is recognized.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo at sa ating pinunong mayorya. Ako po'y sumusuporta sa atin pong kapatid na senador, Senator Raffy Tulfo, sapagkat ito pong patungkol po sa mga special children. Ito po ay pinag-aralan po natin ng matagal dahil sila po ay kasama po doon sa tinatawag natin na meron pong mga epilepsy, meron pong ADHD, mga cerebral palsy. Yan po ay matagal po natin yung pinag-aralan at ito po talaga ay nangangailangan ng atensyon. Nangangailangan po ito ng pag-aaral pa kung ano po yung mga tamang medisina din na dapat pong ibigay sa kanila. Kaya ito po yung napakagandang pangmumulat po sa ating lahat sapagkat ito po talaga sa panahon na ito, hindi lamang po sa Pilipinas, kundi sa buong mundo, lalo na po sa mga progresibong bansa. Meron na pong mga pag-aaral dito kung paano po ito haharapin. Kaya maraming salamat po sa inyo, Idol. Mabuhay po.
Thank you. Thank you.
Senator Joel Villanueva is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleague. May we know if the good gentleman from Isabela and Davao would yield to just some clarificatory questions, Mr. President?
Yes, sir. Anytime.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. At the onset, may I just put on the record my sincerest thanks and gratitude and put into the records of this August chamber my support to the good gentleman for his passion and dedication to really help our kababayans with special needs. Mr. President, I've been a member of the Senate for quite some time, and I have yet to disclose the fact that this representation is a father of a special kid, Mr. President. This is the first time I'm disclosing it, Mr. President, and I'd like to thank the gentleman for his efforts and his desire to help our children with disabilities, Mr. President. Marami hong kailangan pang gawin. Personal experience, yung hirap, sakripisyo, at yung challenge, Mr. President, to have a special kid, Mr. President. So yung first question ko lang, Mr. President, if the good gentleman is aware of the previously passed law na pinasaho ng Kongreso, yung pong inclusive education, at ano po yung update kung meron man dito para matulungan yung ating mga kababayan with disability. Ang problema ho kasi lagi, syempre, Mr. President, distinguished colleague, yung pondo, but at the same time, yung challenge on how they're going to implement the law, Mr. President. I can see for the record, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Education nodding his head. Because even, for example, if you wanted to put up a developmental center in a particular town, Mr. President, doon po sa poblasyon, kunyari, Mr. President. Tapos, yung mga kababayan po natin ay galing sa iba't ibang barangay. Ang lalayo po nila, Mr. President. So, hindi naman ho sila lahat makakapunta doon sa isang lugar, no, ng poblasyon dahil una, wala nga silang pang tricycle patungo ho doon. But at the same time, siguro yung susunod na question ko po, pangalawang question is, gaano yung shortage na tinitignan natin when you talk about occupational therapists, speech therapists, etc., Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tama po kayo, kulang na kulang po yung mga professionals na para tumugon doon po sa mga pangailangan ng mga children with disabilities at kulang din po yung budget na nakalaan. In fact, maganda nga po yung during the budget hearing na suggestion is 10,000 per month one time. Kaya sabi ko dapat madagdagan yon. Ang isa sa mga dilema po ng mga parents, problema sa kanilang mga anak na may disability ay yung pong gastos. Hindi lamang po sa therapy kasi yung therapy sinasagot na po yun ng PhilHealth. Bukod pa dyan, meron pong budget na inilaan po yung Project Aruga, ang DSWD. Yung pong pamasahe at yung mga galing sa probinsya kasi wala naman po mga specialized centers na tumutugon po sa pag-care, treat, therapy and all doon sa mga children with disability. So pupunta po sila ng Maynila Now, ang problema po pagdating sa Maynila, yung iba, halimbawa, bibigyan sila ng 1 week o 2 weeks program na para sila po ay magpa-therapy. Hindi na po tinatapos dahil wala po sila matutuluyan. That's why meron po akong foundation na tinutulungan, yung Little Arc Foundation. Marami po mga kwarto doon na pwedeng tumuloy yung mga bata na may disability after na sila po ay matreat sa Children's Hospital, and then kung kinakailangan mag-stay sila doon to 1 week, kumpleto po, libre pagkain, libre asikaso, kami and all, kasama yung parents. Yun po yung isa sa mga bagay na mahalaga para sa akin. Kailangan pa natin na maraming mga matutuluyan ng mga bata, kasama yung kanilang magulang, yung mga galing probinsya, kapag pumunta na Manila para sa treatment, dahil kulang nga po talaga ang mga centers na tumutugon sa pangangailangan ng mga children with disabilities.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, ang isang napakalaking challenge ay yung pong mga eksperto, doktor na tumitingin sa kanila. Mr. President, this is a personal experience. There are only two, what do you call that, developmental pediatrician, Mr. President, who is well known in the country, in the Philippines. It's Dr. Dimalanta of St. Luke's and Dr. Reyes of Makati Med, Mr. President. Only two, Mr. President. Pagka ho kayo ay hihingi ng appointment sa kanila, Mr. President, it takes about a year. 1 year, Mr. President, bago ka makakuha ng appointment. Kasi hindi po pwede yan na anytime kung ilan yung bata na titignan po nila, pwede. Hindi po eh. Ano yan? Mayroon pong science na hindi nila pwedeng tignan kahit ilang bata na gusto nilang tignan. Dalawa lang po, uulitin ko, dalawa lang ho yung kakilala ko at talagang 1 taon bago kayo makakuha ng appointment. Doktor po yun, Mr. President. Assessment pa lang, Mr. President. Marami yung mga bata sa Pilipinas hindi na-assess that they're in the sphere of autism. Kaya ho napakalaking bagay nung autism awareness dahil akala nung iba ang autism ay sakit. Akala nung iba pag may autism hindi na mapapakinabangan. May mga magulang ho sa probinsya na nababalitaan natin, kinukulong po yung anak, pinapadlock, hindi ho pinapalabas ng bahay. Ang next po, Mr. President, is yung mga occupational therapists. Occupational therapists, Mr. President, in my own experience and just to research yung magagaling na occupational therapists, halos ho yung mga magagaling na occupational therapists nasa abroad na, Mr. President, dahil mas mataas yung sweldo doon at mas maganda yung magiging buhay nila kung sa ibang bansa. Hindi ko alam, Mr. President, if the gentleman would have a data as to how much or how many therapists we have, occupational therapists. Now you go to another thing, Mr. President, speech therapists, Mr. President. Napakakonti din po, Mr. President. Hindi ko po alam kung we have been doing our part every year to increase the number of speech therapists. Ganun din ho yung problema. So, Mr. President, I don't know if the gentleman can answer my question kung ngayon po may update po ba siya or anything na ilan ho yung shortage ng occupational therapist, ilan yung shortage ng speech therapist, at dun po sa pinapanukala ng ating kaibigan, Senator Raffy Tulfo, paano ho ito tutugunan? Ito pong shortage ng ating human resources ng pamahalaan, ng gobyerno para tugunan at i-address ang problema at challenges that we are facing in so far as special needs is concerned.
Thank you, Mr. President, for that very excellent observation. Tama ka talaga, tumpak na kulang tayo sa mga expert pediatrician na tumutugon po sa mga bata with special needs tulad ng mga children with disabilities. In fact, nabanggit mo, meron 2 na pediatrician na buwan bago ka makapag-appointment sa kanila. Pero meron naman din po sa Children's Hospital, sa mga ibang ospital, hindi naman siguro kasing galing nung nabanggit niyong 2 expert pediatricians. Meron pa rin naman siguro, meron naman tayo sa Children's Hospital and other hospitals. Kaya nga lang po, medyo may kamahalan at yung problema ay yung challenges ay pagpunta doon at pamasahe at pag-stay. Now, shortages, yes, you're right. Meron po. At again, tama rin po kayo na imbis na pakinabangan natin yung mga magagaling natin, mga pediatricians, mga physical therapists, occupational therapists, they tend to go abroad as opposed to staying here. Kasi nga po, mas malaking ang bayad doon sa abroad at hindi po competitive yung salary na kukuha nila dito. That's why pupunta sa ibang bansa. So that is something na dapat magkaroon ng programa ang ating pamahalaan para tugunan yung issue yan na kung paano ma-hold natin yung mga experts, mga pediatricians na para makadagdag tulong sa pangangailangan ng mga children with disabilities. Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me just end by saying I am in full support of the measure that our good colleague is pushing. It is also important to again emphasize the need for us policymakers to look into this, the need to address the shortage of experts, developmental pediatricians, therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, etc., Mr. President, because this is very important, Mr. President. Yung mga kabataan natin, sinasabing pag-asa ng ating bayan, sabi ni Dr. Jose Rizal ng ating pambansang bayani, at naniniwala po tayo na yung mga kabataan ay hindi lang pag-asa ng bayan, kung hindi sila po yung may-ari ng kinabukasan. At tayo po bilang mga policymakers, I hope, Mr. President, that we can do better, Mr. President, for the next generation. And again, I thank the good gentleman from Isabela and Davao for this opportunity. Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Puno. Thank you. Your colleague.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Bam Aquino is recognized.
Yes, Mr. President, magandang araw. This is more of a manifestation of support and concern to our dear seatmate, the good gentleman from Isabela and Davao, Senator Raffy Tulfo. Unang-una po, itong issue ng ating mga children with disabilities ay nararapat na mailabas at maganda po na isa ito sa mga advokasya ng ating butihing senador. Nais ko lang pong banggitin sa plenaryo na doon po sa pag-aaral ng EDCOM, in the EDCOM 2 report, lumalabas na 1 out of every 5 students ay may kapansanan o merong concern na kailangan pong bigyan ng tamang pansin. No? So malaki po yung porsyento. In fact, we intend to look further into these numbers to find out kung gaano to katotoo o anong range ang pinag-uusapan. Kasi kung totoo po na 1 out of every 5 students in our DepEd schools ay may pangangailangang espesyal, ay talagang nakakabahala po yun, unang-una. Pangalawa, kung ikukumpara po natin ang pondo, ang infrastruktura, ang kakayanan na matulungan ang mga kabataang may special needs, kung ikukumpara po yun dun sa nakalaang tulong at budget, ay malayo po talaga. No? Marami pong mga magulang ang lumapit na rin po sa aming tanggapan at nagsasabi na wala silang ibang mapaglagyan ng kanilang mga anak na merong special needs. Hindi sapat ang facilities na binibigay ng gobyerno at kahit gusto po nilang, yung iba po walang pambayad at nakaasa lang po talaga sa government facilities at kulang, yung mga gusto naman po magbayad, wala rin naman po mapuntahan. No? Yan po yung nabanggit kanina ni Senator Joel Villanueva. So nararapat po itong ma-raise and we will work, Mr. President, hand in hand with the good senator as soon as we can reconvene our committee. Pagdating po sa mga children with special needs at mga estudyanteng may mga special needs, pwede po tayo magtulungan para mabigyan ng solusyon ang problemang ito at ang makahanap po tayo ng solusyon para po sa mga pamilya po nila. Yun lang po, Mr. President. And again, I would like to state my full support to what was raised today by our good seatmate and good friend and senator from Isabela and Davao, Senator Raffy Tulfo. Maraming salamat, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Majority Leader. Oh, yes. Senator Loren Legardas, recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to associate myself with the thoughts of the good sponsor, Senator Raffy Tulfo, as he commemorated and celebrated and brought us face to face with the glaring needs of our times which are not given priority. Ako po ay nagagalak na ito po'y dinala sa national conversation. Dahil ito po ay mahalagang parte ng ating lipunan na sa dami po na nangyayari ay maaring hindi natin nabibigyan po ng pansin. Nag-uusap lang po kami ni Senator Joel Villanueva tungkol sa ganito at kailangan na kailangan natin ng mga mag-aaral ng psychology. At ito po sana ay maari pa nating ihabol sa budget. Nakita ko merong amendment, I think it was Senate President. And I recall even before pandemic when I was Chair of Finance, pinopondohan niya yung medical doctors na mga scholars. I think it was your amendment. I saw an amendment yesterday na basta medical scholars. Sana maliban dyan ay yung mga nagsa-specialize sa psychology dahil kulang na kulang po yan. Pero when we talk about persons with disabilities, iba-iba yan eh. Iba syempre psychological, iba naman physical disability. At gusto ko lang po isa-add and to put on record na meron tayong mga batas na ginawa ko po sa aking first term. Nandyan po ako nakaupo, katabi ko si Senator Juan Flavier na doktor. Ito po yung pag-check ng bata sa pagkapanganak, newborn screening. Ito po ay makakatulong kung malaman natin ng maaga kung may kapansanan ba. Hindi ko na matanto o maalala ngayon yung eksakto. I'll ask my staff because it was my first term. May pangalawa pa, newborn hearing screening. Sa pagdinig naman, at ito ay drinaft sa akin ni Dr. Charlotte Chong na ngayon ay Chancellor, I think, ng UP PGH, UP Manila, na naipasa natin. The newborn screening, can you check the bill for me, the law? Newborn Screening Act of 2004. Tayo po ay nag-author nito with Senator Juan Flavier, Dr. Flavier. Ito ba ho'y napapatupad kaya? At ang siniscreen nito, i-check mo. Siniscreen nito, I think yung sa dugo ng bata, if I'm not mistaken, I'm having it checked. Tapos yung newborn hearing screening, ito naman po, kung may kapansanan sa pagdidinig. Dahil may mga bata po na lumalaki, tas minsan nagagalit minsan ng magulang o yung mentor o what. Tigas naman ang ulo mo. Sabihin ganun. Or, bakit ka hindi ka makarinig? But they do not realize that the child could be challenged or within autism sphere, pero ito pong binabanggit ko sa hearing screening ay may kapansanan sa pandinig. Kaya po tayo din ay tumulong sa UPPGH na merong po under the ear department para po sa hearing screening. Dalawang batas po ito. I bring it to the record. I'm not certain if the good sponsor will be able to answer it, whether these two laws are being implemented by DOH in all DOH retained hospitals, in all LGU hospitals. Kasi siniscreen po ito para malaman kung may kapansanan sila. Can you check the first screening law? What does it? Okay. The first, here, very good, Senator Risa. Thank you. The first Newborn Screening Act, RA 92008. Buti pa, Senator Risa, mabilis ang binigay sa akin. Opo. I wrote this in 98, of course, with my seatmate, Dr. Flavier. It establishes a national program for screening newborns for treatable genetic and metabolic disorders to prevent mental retardation. Kayang may prevent serious health complications and death by ensuring early detection and management of these conditions through a simple dugo lang, blood test performed within 24 to 70 hours after birth. I am grateful to Senator Risa Ontiveros for giving me this. She is even 10 times quicker than my younger staff from UP.
But the question, Mr. President,
Yes.
is it being done now?
Ginagawa ba ho ito? Dahil,
Yes. Ginagawa po ba yan?
ay, opo, yun po ang sagot nyo, ginagawa po at sinusunod po.
Ako po magtatanong sana kasi
Na,
kayo
yun
po
mo
pala
ang
nagpasa
gusto
ng
kong
batas eh.
malaman. This is a
Kasi napakaganda po niyan ha. Napakagandang screening yung mga
Opo.
nabanggit nyo.
Yes, this was a bill I filed in 1998, enacted in 2004 with my mentor, Dr. Juan Flavier.
So meron pong blood test na
po,
kinukuha
yes,
doon sa baby para malaman kung may
retardation.
merong retardation at meron pa
Yes.
ibang problema. But is it being done by all hospitals across the board?
Dapat po, na italaga po ng batas 21 years ago, isang prick po ng blood, malalaman na po sa lahat ng pampublikong ospital.
Maybe sa private ginagawa po yan, siguro sa public.
Dapat pati sa private.
hindi. Yes.
At dapat sakop to ng PhilHealth.
Yes.
Dapat, yan. Newborn screening yan. Tapos, eventually, sa second term ko po, yung newborn hearing screening, ito naman po, yung may kapansanan po sa pagdinig. Yun. Yes. The name of the bill is the Universal Newborn Screening and Intervention Act. What is this? This is the second screening. This is for hearing. Yes. Yung pandinig po, 2009. But the first screening is for blood, not for hearing, but for mental retardation or other illnesses. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng metabolic? Maybe someone else can explain to me. So my question, first, I commend you, Mr. Sponsor, for bringing this to the national conversation. Second, to ensure, sayang tapos na ang DOH interpellations. Nandyan ang chair, si Senator Pia, and all the advocates here, dapat pinapatupad ng ating pampublikong ospital, lalo naman ang mga pribado.
Yeah, sa ngayon, Mr. President, hindi po pinapatupad yan. Wala po ako narinig mula sa mga lumalapit sa akin para magtanong at magbigay ng inputs na it never been implemented from the get-go, simula nung maging batas siya.
I
So maybe sa
recall,
private, siguro choice yun, dagdag bayad, pero sa public, hindi po pinapatupad
Will
yan,
you
yung kukunan ng
join
blood
me?
test.
Senator Tulfo, thank you for this. Will you join me in asking PhilHealth to mandate the free newborn screening and the
Yes.
newborn hearing screening
Yes.
to implement the laws? Dapat po ay may sakop na.
Okay, we'll do that,
Anyway,
Mr. President.
it should be covered. Anyway, I also was able to pass the bill as principal author, RA 11228, providing for the mandatory field health coverage for all PWDs. Ako po'y principal author nito in 2019 sa third term. Kasi I remember my laws and my bills based on my term. Newborn screening, first term with Dr. Flavier. Newborn hearing screening, second term, 2007, past 2009, Charlotte Chong. Dr. Chong was the one who drafted it for me. Now, on my third term, ito po yung providing mandatory PhilHealth coverage for all PWDs. So, kung ang PWD ay covered po ng PhilHealth, dapat yung pag-monitor or prevention sa pagka-PWD sa screening ay masakop din.
Yes.
So it should be covered by 11228, that Republic Act, right?
Yes.
Do you
Mr.
agree?
President, I do agree.
I would not readily accept the answer if I may say this, that DOH does not implement the newborn hearing screening and the newborn screening. Baka naman kanilang ini-implement ito. Thank you, Senator Risa, is feeding me the information. Newborn screening is implemented according to this information in both public and private hospitals in the Philippines as a national public health program mandated by Newborn Screening Act of 2004. I'm glad. But sometimes, nakalagay lang to sa Wikipedia, Google, etc. sa impormasyon. Pero hindi talaga ginagawa ng PhilHealth. Pero sabi dito, covered daw ang newborn screening. It's a covered benefit under the newborn care
Covered but not
package.
being implemented, Mr. President. I believe.
The information, perhaps the Senator Pia Cayetano can enlighten us
Yes.
on this, because based on my information, they do that for newborn, premature born babies.
Dapat lahat
Doon
po.
ginagawa sa ang hearing and screening mandatory.
Yes.
For
So,
premature born babies. I don't know.
premature lang.
Oo.
It's supposed to cover all. Yes, Senator Pia Cayetano.
Senator Cayetano,
I
you're
hope you can
recognized.
help us with this.
a little bit of history also. Senator Lauren, we didn't know each other yet then, but my dad was your colleague in the Senate, and I gave birth to a child with rare disease. And so Dr. Menchit Padilla, who was
Menchit.
lobbying for that bill, told me about it because she was my geneticist when we discovered that my child would be born with a rare disease called trisomy 13. So anyway, when I became a senator, because the law had already passed, I became very active in helping all the rare diseases. We have a new law, the rare disease law, which
Yes.
supports that.
Yes.
And I can inform the body that we provide funding to, it's through UP Manila National Institute of Health, NIH, no? We've continued funding the clinics that I think they're like pilot clinics that train all, the goal is to train all doctors to recommend newborn screening and to have the ability to spot potential rare diseases. And even without that, if they have the newborn screening, it will filter and recognize many, but it will not cover all because there are so many rare diseases, Mr. President. So bottom line is, it is a DOH item. I recalled in the past that we put funding because it was discussed. So remember funding 22, 23, 24, and I'm double checking for 20.
I hope it's covered in the
2026. It should be
budget. It
because
should be.
normally it would be highlighted to me as the in charge of their budget if hindi natuloy yung funding. So alam ko tuloy-tuloy ang funding non. And then I also want to respond to Her Honor and for the benefit of the sponsor that as for the newborn hearing
screening.
I also recommended the budget for that. I'm just checking now if it was carried by the Finance Committee, but because I remember asking, why, bakit nasa UP to? Because UP is the one implementing the newborn hearing screening.
Yes.
So I'm just
I'll
checking
answer
if
your
it was
question, why is
carried.
it in UP? Because this bill was initiated by Dr. Charlotte Chong and the draft was
Of UP
given
Manila.
and they have in UPPGH they established the HERE Institute. It's another bill that Dr. Flavier and I authored. So there's a standalone, supposedly, HERE Institute in UPPGH. But I'm grateful for your answer. However,
So
I do
may
not
I
think-
just clarify
Yes.
for the information of the body? So
Yes.
this is not a PhilHealth initiative. It's DOH.
yes.
Because this is like immunization. It is not PhilHealth. It's DOH. So DOH is the one that has the funding. I'm checking if there's enough funding. They're the ones who are going to implement this. Hindi to kailangan na maging PhilHealth benefit kasi kasama to dun sa health programs na nilo-roll out ng DOH.
Therefore, if there is no funding from DOH, if it is not in their NEP or adjusted, there is no newborn screening. It should be because it's mandated by law. But as we know, laws in this country are merely recommendations. But again, based on a 2019 law, which I principally authored, I mandated all PWDs to be covered by PhilHealth. This is a preventive measure to monitor possible disability. So it
Okay.
must be covered by PhilHealth. So,
Mr. President,
yes.
makasingin. Okay.
sponsor.
Not only that, ang isa pang nakita kong problema, yung mga nanay na buntis na mga may hirap,
Yes.
wala silang kakayahan, wala silang pera na para magpa-check up kung kumusta na po yung binubuntis nila. Yung early intervention ba, malalaman agad na, yung bata mo, yung anak mo may problema. Pag pinanganak yan, ito yung mangyayari sa kanya. So these parents, or this parent o mother na mahirap, na hindi nakapunta sa mga center, o minsan lang pupunta sa mga center, at ang susunod na punta, pag nanganak na, wala silang kakayahan kasi para ipa-check up yung kanilang pagbubuntis. And then pag sila nanganak, pupunta na doon sa hilot para doon manganak. Hindi as opposed to sa hospital. At kapag sa hospital, doon papasok yung sinasabi nyo, kunan ng blood test para ma-check kung meron bang problema yung bata. So, paano na yung mga bata na pinanganak sa
Covered.
pinanganak sa mga madrona?
Mm-mm. Yes.
Pinang-
So, my question is, ito ba ho, dapat po, sa aking kaalaman, dahil batas po ito na mula 204, dapat po yan sakop sa pribado o sa pampubliko dahil mandated po ng lahat ng newborn, hindi lang premature, ay tinuturukan.
So dapat
In the
meron
first-
tayong monitoring system
Yes,
from now on.
24 to 72
We make
hours.
sure na that is being implemented.
Opo. Tapos doon nakikita, makita yung dugo, ito okay po. Ito ay may possibility para maagapan ng magulang kung may kakayanan, kung hindi, tulungan. Diba?
So titingnan po natin sa mga bill ng mga mother ng pinanganak
Yes.
na nanganak.
We can ask,
No, kung kasama dun sa bill yung, kasi covered yan, di ba, ng PhilHealth, yung screening ng mga bata, yung blood
Ay.
test to make,
No,
actually
sir,
hindi
di
po
ba,
kailangan,
in-explain ko nga, no,
hindi
na
kailangan
it is a
covered.
DOH program. It is not
Okay.
PhilHealth. So by law, this should be available in all hospitals. And I'm just checking what is the budget. Kasi the initial budget that was requested, I don't know how many years ago, was to train the doctors and the technicians who will be conducting the newborn screening. The idea was lahat ng public hospitals natin and even clinics would be able to implement the newborn screening. So I'm just checking now if the budget is sufficient to ensure that lahat ng public hospital can provide for newborn screening. Kasi kung tatanungin niyo ako, pati LGU hospitals, kasi nga that's the first line. But also to address His Honor's concern, lahat din po ng buntis, pwede rin ho pumunta kahit ho sa health center. So kung meron tayong report na hindi nakakapagbigay ng prenatal support, sabihin sa atin, masumbong natin sa DOH because matagal na hong program yon. All of them have access. And those who are even part of the 4Ps, then they even will get 350 na we reported to the body yesterday that the Chairman of the Committee on Finance and I both supported a 900 million peso increase so that the 4Ps beneficiaries will now get 700 pesos a month instead of the 350 precisely to support the first 1,000 days. And kasama sa first 1,000 days yung 9 months na pagbubuntis. And included din doon, specifically ang newborn screening, if is indicated, hindi mo matatanggap yung 4Ps mo. Pag let's say, tinatanggap mo yung 4Ps benefit mo, 350, buntis ka, tapos nanganak ka, hindi mo pina-newborn screening. Ano yun? Liability mo yun. Because these are, remember the 4Ps law is put into place, the program is put into place to incentivize behavior. And the behavior we want to incentivize is that mothers bring their infants and themselves to a healthcare professional and then later on bring them to school. So health and education. Kaya kasama yun.
So, conceptually, yes, everything looks good, but we want to make sure that LGU hospitals and DOH retained hospitals and all others do this actually, because it's a DOH mandate, because it's a 21-year-old law. And so, I wanted to put that on record. Pero isa lang po yan sa maraming maaring kapansanan, no? Disability ng ating mga anak at mga bata. And I join you in asking for more government support and for a strong oversight function on the implementation of already existing laws.
thank you, Sen. Lauren.
At
Thank you, Sen.
siguro
Pia.
po, if I may, dahil galing po kayo sa media,
Pareho po tayo.
importante po,
Pareho tayo.
oo, tayo po, ay importante rin sa komunikasyon ay ang pag-handle po ng communications tungkol sa persons with disability, yung tamang language, tamang pagtrato, both physically in the newsroom or even how they convey it on mainstream media and in social media with due respect, just like the LGBT community, the PWD as well should be treated with respect and with a correct language. So that should be part of a communications plan, let's say of PCO, for example.
I agree, Mr.
Yes.
President.
So
Thank you.
I thank Senator Pia Cayetano for assuring us that the newborn screening is being implemented by DOH. We will follow up with DOH itself if indeed they are fulfilling their mandated duty.
Yeah.
I am grateful to the
And-
sponsor,
and
Senator
Me
Tulfo.
as well, I would like to thank Senator Pia Cayetano. Nung marinig ko yung Project Aruga, nagulat ako kasi hindi ko talaga alam. Sabi ko, napakagandang programa. That's why I have this privileged speech dahil dun sa nakuha kong informasyon sa kanya dun sa Project Aruga during the budget deliberation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Napakagandang
Thank you very
programa.
much.
Kailangan
I-
ma-enhance.
Can I continue just because I'm already standing, but there might be a list, so I don't want to get in the way of anyone else. Or ituloy ko na lang, okay lang ba?
Yes, please finish your intervention.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very quickly, because I was monitoring as I was on my way here. Thank you for the very topic that's very close to my heart. I'm always happy when I hear that there are other colleagues who have a heart for those with disabilities. As I said, I had a child with a disability, a very severe disability, and he did not live. He did not even live for his first birthday. That's why this is really my passion and my actually, I probably became a senator because of that child of mine. So having said that, I just want to be clearer in my response on the DOH role and PhilHealth. So the role of DOH, which was the part I got involved with in the funding, was really to train the doctors, the health workers to ensure that the newborns have newborn screening, no? And to facilitate the establishment of these newborn screening facilities in key areas. That is the role of DOH. That is the budget that I said that I recall that consistently I see we have. But as I said, that is to establish those centers. So currently those centers are in, the response given to me is major hospitals. So sabi ko, sino yung major hospitals na yun? Because they cannot even tell us that it is all hospitals. But having said that, if it is not, so for the benefit of the public that His Honor would probably like to share with his viewers, if it is not in a major hospital near you, then you can go to any hospital, including that major hospital, including a private hospital. And there is a PhilHealth coverage of 2,950 pesos that will pay for the newborn screening. But if you are a PPP, 4-piece beneficiary, then covered na yon, tama ba? Then covered na yon. So anyway, thank you for this topic kasi yung sagot din na nakukuha natin comes in trickle. So, nag-increase na pala. Hindi na pala 2,950. It's now 5,752. So I will tie this up into the ZBB. So supposedly, kahit na 2,000 pa yung bigay ng PhilHealth o 5,000, if the ZBB will be implemented, the zero balance billing, then that means wala na silang babayaran na balanse.
Yeah.
Which goes back to what I will raise during the period of amendment na siguraduhin natin na may pondo ang PhilHealth pambayad ng lahat ng sinasabi natin na pasok sa ZBB. So thank you for bringing this up, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Pia.
I thank Senator Pia Cayetano for that. As I said, we can all do our audits on the ground. I'm checking now with Angel Salazar Hospital in San Jose Antique. I'll check with other hospitals whether they actually do this. Number one, DOH must do it because it's a 21-year-old law. Number two, PhilHealth must cover it because of zero balance billing and because a 2019 law mandated the coverage of all PWDs. And I think if you extend the interpretation of that law, it should include the prevention or knowing ahead of time of a possible disability. I'm grateful to your honors for bringing this to the plenary today, and rest assured of our continuing monitoring and support for our persons with disability. And thank you to Senator Risa Ontiveros for giving me the notes I needed.
Assessment.
Thank you. Mr. President, before we recognize
Mr.
our other
President,
colleagues.
Just
Yeah, sorry, I'm
last point, just to inform the body also because the sponsor of this privileged speech is very interested. The SWD has another program. It's called DARE. It's the Development, Assessment, Rehabilitation, and Empowerment Caravan. They go
Yes.
all over the country with all kinds of the different professionals, specifically to target the special needs of in different families.
Thank you. That was mentioned
Thank
in
you.
my privilege
Okay.
speech earlier. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Pia.
Mr. President, before we recognize Senator Risa Ontiveros to interpolate. We'd just like to acknowledge some guests in the gallery, Mr. President. We have with us our distinguished colleague from the House of Representatives, Congressman Carlo Oyo Uy of the First District of Davao del Norte. And we also have a poet, fictionist, translator, and filmmaker, Christian Cordero, and Karina Bolasco, Director of Ateneo de Manila University Press, guest of Senator Lauren Legarda. So, Mr. President, I move that we
Welcome
recognize.
the guests to the Senate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I move that we recognize Senator Risa Ontiveros.
Senator Risa Ontiveros is recognized.
Salamat po, Mr. President. Just a point of information to add to the discussions between the good gentleman from Isabela and the good gentlewomen from Antique and Taguig and Pateros respectively. Para po sa kabatiran ng ating mga kababayang mga magulang, mga malapit ng mga anak, at mabalitaan, marinig po itong pag-uusap natin tungkol sa newborn screening. So dagdag na impormasyon lamang, the newborn screening for certain diseases is funded by PhilHealth. So particularly po merong basic NBS or newborn screening panel tests para sa congenital hypothyroidism, congenital adrenal hyperplasia, glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency o G6PD, galactosemia o GAL, at saka phenylketonuria or PKU. And recently, Mr. President, in-expand po ng PhilHealth ang coverage nila sa newborn screening para sa mga posibleng medical conditions ng ating mga baby. So now, the expanded newborn screening test na covered po ng PhilHealth will also be able to detect endocrine, amino, and fatty acid disorders, organic acid, urea cycle defect, cystic fibrosis, hemoglobinopathies, biotinidase deficiency, and other disorders. So, dagdag na point of information lamang po, Mr. President, good gentleman.
If I may add, Mr. President,
Salamat po.
not only treatment that do we need to get focused on, but also research and studies needed para ma-address itong proper care and proper treatment for children with disabilities. Yan po siguro isa pa sa pagtutunan ko na pag gumawa ko ng bill, bukod sa budget, of course, dapat magkaroon ng budget pertaining to that. But also very important is yung budget na mapupunta, malaking chunk of that budget should go to studies and research on the proper treatment and care for children with disabilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. May we recognize also our distinguished colleague from Tarlac, Pampanga, Senator Rodante Marcoleta.
Senator Dante Marcoleta is recognized.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. President. Mr. President, meron po tayong batas, itong Republic Act 11650, na kung tawagin po natin ay Act Instituting a Policy of Inclusion and Services for Learners with Disabilities in Support of Inclusive Education. Sang-ayon po sa Section 13 itong batas na ito, Mr. President, ito po ay naglalaman ng program support budget na kung babasahin po natin ay ganito po ang nakasulat dito. To ensure the institutionalization of services for learners with disabilities, a PSB, meaning to say program support budget for learners shall be included as a line item in the general appropriations of the DepEd. I'd like to find out, Mr. President, dito po sa ating pinag-uusapan o kinukonsider na 2026 budget, particularly on DepEd, meron po bang line item ang PSB, Mr. President? Sang-ayon po sa itinatakda ng batas na ito.
I'm gonna look into it, Mr. President. Right now, I'm not aware of that line item in our NEP, Mr. President, but going to look into it, Mr. President.
Kasi po, Mr. President, napansin ng representasyon na ito na meron po tayong budget for learning materials for learners with disabilities. Pero wala pong specific line item allocation, halimbawa, doon sa child fine system. Ito po ay napaka-importante, Mr. President, kasi kung wala naman itong child fine system, hindi rin po natin malulocate o ma-identify kung ilan po yung mga mag-aaral natin na mayroong disabilities sa buong bansa, kung nasa ang eskwela po sila. At hindi rin po natin malalaman kung ilan ang mga naka-enroll sa mga eskwelahan. So mahihirapan po tayo kahit na alam natin na napaka-importanting masuportahan po natin lahat. Ngunit kung hindi naman po natin alam kung sino-sino sila at kung nasaan sila, sapagkat wala nga pong line item na nakalagay sa budget, ito naman po itinatadhana ng batas, mahihirapan po tayo, Mr. President. This representation tried since last week to inquire from the LBRMO kung talaga pong nakapaglagay ang DepEd ng line item ayon po sa itinatadhana ng batas. Ngunit hanggang ngayon po ay mukhang sila'y nahihirapan din na tingnan mula sa DepEd. Parang wala nga po, Mr. President.
Mr. President, meron po. Ito pala, DepEd budget 100 million pesos for 2026 sa NEP, Provision of Learning Resources for Learners with Disabilities.
Sa NEP po yun, Mr. President. Kung titignan po ninyo sa HGAB, nawala po yun. Yun po yung hinahanap natin.
Ayun, na magic.
At ang nakikita po nating malinaw, materialis po for learners for disabilities. Maliwanag po yun. Ngunit kung ang pag-uusapan natin para malocate po natin, nasaan po lahat ang mga mag-aaral po nating may disabilities, wala po tayong magagamit na pantustos dyan sapagkat wala po yung child fine system. Hindi lamang po yun, Mr. President. Sana'y nagkakamali po ako pero wala rin po yung hiring of specialists for diagnosis and assessment of LWDs and the prescription of appropriate intervention. Sana nagkakamali din po ako, Mr. President, na wala din po yung to defray expenses in the delivery of related services stated in Section 4P. Ito nga po yung sa transportation and various developmental, corrective and other support services for student with disabilities. Mr. President, kung wala po ang line item na ito na napaka-importante, kahit na po magsama-sama tayong lahat dito, ipahayag natin ang ating interes na tulungan ang ating mga mag-aaral na may disabilities, ngunit may kakulangan po sapagkat na maring nakaligtaan po. Napaka-importante po ng line item na ito. Mr. President, kaya ko lamang po sinubukan na maalaman talaga. Sana po ay makita na po natin. Kahit na po tapos na yung individual amendments, Mr. President, siguro po ay ang representasyong ito isusulat sa ating chairman para sa ganon makahanap pa po tayo ng fiscal space. Nakita ko po kasi yung opisina po ng PCO na nagka-doble-doble po yung paglalagay po nila ng gastusin tungkol sa pag-uos natin ng ASEAN. Binabalak ko po na meron po akong dinrap na sulat, baka sakaling doon po natin makita. Kung sakasakaling ito pong tatlong items na ito ay talagang hindi na ilagay na line item sa ating GAA na kinukonsider for 2026, Mr. President. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President. Maraming salamat.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. President, I would like to thank the Senator from Tarlac for raising that issue, and I promise, Mr. President, to my colleagues that after this, I would confer with the chairman, committee chair, sa public health at saka sa DSWD as well as Finance Committee Chair para pag-usapan to yung mga budget na karapat-dapat para matugunan itong mga pinag-usapan natin dito. Tulad sinabi nga ni Senator Marcoleta na walang saysay itong pinag-usapan natin paano tayo susuporta dito sa mga magagandang programa natin pamalaan kung nawawala naman daw yung budget at wala naman daw sa NEP. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that has to be addressed right away. Thank you for that, for being a keen observant on that matter, the good senator from Tarlac. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that the speech of the gentleman from Isabela and Davao, Senator Tulfo, together with all the interpellations, be referred to the Committee on Health and Demography.
So referred.
Oh, same topic, Mr. President. So I move, I withdraw my motion, Mr. President, so that the
No.
good Senate President may also weigh in on the.
No, in fact, Mr. President, I was going to support your motion, but I wanted to know where you would want to refer the speech of the gentleman, Senator Tulfo.
It was to the Committee on Health and Demography, sir.
Okay, because
Would you want an additional reference
yes, Mr.
or
President,
referral?
I filed Senate Bill 194. It was last July. This is an act recognizing difference in neurodevelopment, upholding the rights of neurodivergent people, and instituting a national and support plan for neurodiversity. Now, it was referred to the Committee on Social Justice and the Committee on Health secondarily. So may I know if that is the proper thing to do on this particular speech? Would it be health or social justice first?
May I ask for a minute suspension, Mr. President, just to make sure we check
Session
the
is
rules.
suspended.
As well as
Primarily.
social justice. As the
Primarily.
primary committee is health and demography.
Secondarily,
And secondarily is the Committee on Social Justice.
An objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
And at the
Then-
same time, what we
yeah.
can do also, Mr. President, is that
Privilege speech.
the privilege speech and all the interpellators or the interpellations be placed primarily the Committee on Health and Demography as well as secondarily to the Committee on Social Justice. I so move, Mr. President. I so move, Mr. President.
Approved.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. President,